So Eteria is a savage world setting where you play as a band of adventurers roaming a world which has been devastated by a global-scale catastrophic magical event. And it's left a little bit unspecified what that is. Certainly your characters don't know. The world has kind of forgotten exactly what happened. Two of the four elements of magic, fire and air, have been torn from the world forever. Now the water artificers of the Kingdom of Ravan and the earth shamans of the K'iri Desert Nomads fight for the resources to restore Eteria to its former glory. You're going to choose between playing as either a K'iri Desert Nomad, a human being who roams the vast desert world of Eteria, trying to restore nature by bringing life back to the world. You know, one oasis at a time. Or you might pick to be a Ravanite water being, a human-shaped, functionally immortal, water elemental given a real human soul. We'll be starting our adventure on a K'iri cavern train near the Pashno Oasis, close to the Ravanite city of Leah. So do you have any questions about any of that? Like, and have you had any thoughts about like what you want your characters to be?
I'm probably going to go for the human. Um,
Okay.
I might find it hard to play something that's effectively immortal.
Yeah, I mean they don't die of old age. They don't need to eat, drink, breathe, or anything like that. But they can be killed. They can't get disease and they can't be poisoned. Actually, let me tell you the benefits and costs to being a Ravenite. So if you're a Ravenite water being, you have a -4 penalty to heat effects and resisting heat effects. You don't need to sleep. You're immune to poison and disease. You can't die of old age. You don't need to breathe. But you do have a racial enemy. You are an enemy of the Marut. Uh, kind of an enemy. I mean, you're not at open war with them because they're so insignificant to the Ravanite kingdom or the Kingdom of Ravan. Um, the Marut are these kind of small fox-like creatures that roam the desert. They're sentient and they're pretty intelligent. They're quite ingenious. They work with like shaping different kinds of magic, mostly earth magic. And they are merchants, basically, that travel the desert, um, selling, buying goods, that kind of thing. So when you are dealing with the Marut, you'll have a -4 charisma penalty to dealing with them.
Can I play as a Marut?
Uh, yes, I am going to say yes, and because that's what we do. Okay, yes, I can build a racial profile for a Marut if you want right now, but you're going to have to give me a while to get that set up for you.
That's right. I'll play as human.
Are you sure? Because what appeals to you about the Marut?
They seem more human in the sense of actually having. I don't know. The elementals sound like, just from my personal standpoint, I wouldn't be able to play a character
Like that? Yeah,
like.
I can understand that. They're very inhuman. Although the thing about the elementals is the entire society of Ravan used to be humans, but they gained immortality through magic, something like 500 years ago. So because they were able to, they just transferred their bodies into these kind of water elemental bodies.
So
The problem is they can't make more of them. So there is a finite number. There will never be more uh, Ravenites than that.
if they don't eat, what do they subsist on?
Water. They just have massive, massive amounts of water. They control the water in the planet, basically. There are some oases and that kind of thing, but they just replenish their bodies by taking in more water. And part of their magic is because everyone in the world of Eteria has magic, either earth magic or water magic. The magic that they use is particularly focused on matter shaping. So the idea being that you can take water and you can change it into, through applying energy, you can change it into whatever state you want. In fact, there are 4 guilds in that you can be a member of in the Kingdom of Ravan. There's the Rom Guild, which is the solid matter guild, the Fiat Guild, which is the liquid guild, the Parsed Guild, which is the gas guild, and the Samu Guild, which is the plasma guild. So you can be you can basically take magic energy and shape magic energy, shape water using your magic energy. So all you need is water. Water is your building block.
I guess I can try them with the water beings.
Okay, so you're going to be a Ravanite. Okay. And Sminty.
I am going to do Ravenite, which I decided a few days ago.
Okay.
No.
And Tommy, you want to be a Marut, right?
No, that would be quite funny if there's a constant discord among party members.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'll play human.
Okay, you're going to be a human. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to go through the regular old-fashioned Savage Worlds character creation process. So let me give each of you a...
Just wondering what kinds of weapons they have in this setting.
Well, for Ravenite, you have a lot of options. Because you can shape things by imbuing shape water by imbuing it with magic. Typically, you're talking about like making your own kind of sword or making a stuff with water. So you could like shape a bow out of water. Or you could shape a sword. And the technology level for Ravanites is substantially higher than basically everyone else in the world. So you could imagine like creating a plasma thrower that can shoot plasma out of a weapon. So it really depends on what you end up wanting to use. Of course, like a plasma thrower is going to cost you more. Oh, and I should say, currency in this world is it's actually this solidified version of, like magically solidified version of water. It's incredibly dense, and you basically hold and trade it.
Okay.
So it's like
water, the resource.
Water is the resource. So it's actually the currency. And the idea is that you have these little cubes of water that are like super dense. Like the atoms are very, very close together, and that you can take those and then use them to cast magic, but you can also use them to trade.
So what attribute is survival?
Survival is... I think it's smarts.
Smart.
Yeah, smarts. That'll be pretty important because the whole of Eteria, barring the oases and the Ravanite cities, is a desert planet. I mean, there might be shrubs in some areas, but by and large, it's completely void of life, or at least mostly. At least, and the surface is. There are pockets of water underneath the ground. I should mention because when you're a Ravanite, you're a magical creature. You have to use some of your magical energy inherently to keep yourself in the shape that you're in. Because you're mostly solid, in your normal form. That's the lowest energy version of water. So you don't have to put in additional energy to keep yourself in that form. But if you want to change your form, that's going to require you to take a spell that relates to that, and it's probably going to be out of your like changing the liquid. You might be able to do that, but going to like the higher energy states, you probably can't turn yourself into a plasma at the start of the game. That's going to be more like an expert level spell.
It's like arid.
Yeah, it's arid mostly. There are like situations like if you're in a city in the Kingdom of Ravan, then there are pools all over the place. Like the whole place is made of water. The entire city is made of water in different states. There are underground caverns and stuff that are filled with like underground lakes and that kind of thing. It's assumed that everyone can sort of swim under ordinary circumstances in this game, I think. But if you're trying to like fight the current or something like that, that's when you would use your swimming skill.
How prevalent are rats?
Rats.
Yes.
I would say they're pretty common. But do you mean the
Excellent.
ordinary kind of variety, or are you talking about like the giant, enormous monster kind of variety?
Any kind of rat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a race of like ratmen in this world.
Perfect.
So, yeah, pretty common, I would say. Okay, we're live again. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of the background for the Ravanites. So if you're a Ravanite, so both you and Al and Sminty need to choose a caste. So there are 4 castes. They're not going to have a mechanical benefit immediately. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to affect the game, but the 4 are the noble caste, Temperite, the religious caste, Namite, the merchant caste, Eruvani, and the laborer caste, the Core. So both of you need to pick one of these castes.
Nemite, for sure.
Okay, Namite.
Which one is that? Sorry.
That's the religious caste.
So I'm going for like a scholar monk type character.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have the merchant class, I guess.
Okay, Eruvani, and I'll type those out for you. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Ravanites, as an edge, a minor edge, can choose to have be a member of one of the 4 artificer guilds. And what that does is it gives you a +1 bonus to when you have to deal with something like shaping water into that particular state of matter. So there's a solid, liquid, gas, and plasma guild. So if you're interested in getting a +1 bonus for dealing with anything in that particular state, it's not just water. It could say you're dealing with like a lava flow or something like that. Then being in the liquid guild will also help you. So I'm just going to write out all of the...
Do we have to use up a skill
Yeah,
or anything?
it's 1
edge?
point. It's an edge. It's a minor edge.
The minor range.
Yeah, but you get a +1 for everything relating to that state of matter. And then also for your reference, there are so the Ravanite, the Kingdom of Ravan, the Ravanites worship a pantheon of gods. So it's basically a family of gods, starting at the Eteria, who's the mother goddess, and she gave birth to all of the other gods. Her first child was Odium, who is the life god, and he betrayed her by creating death. And so eventually he became the death god. And she's having a quarrel with him right now, so she doesn't pay much attention to what's going on in Eteria. Uh, uh, Phaetra is the water goddess. Parstus is the air god. Samura is the fire goddess. Romaron is the earth god. And Tempra is the time goddess. So I'll write those down. Sminty, you're going to need to worship one of those.
Okay.
So I'll write those down.
Would it really make sense to pick an air or fire god? Because
Well,
the magic is gone. I'm not gonna be able to use their spells.
Yeah, the spells that you use. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
It's all right. We were just going over the Ravanite caste religions and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, let's see. So yeah, the thing about so although the fire and air gods aren't present on Eteria, you can still worship them. It's just you're going to use water magic, pretty much no matter what. That's just what you're imbued with. But worship doesn't, just because they're absent doesn't mean that you shouldn't worship them, basically. Right? Your belief is keeping them alive wherever they are. It's helping them. And in return, they have promised, right? They promised their worshippers that they'll return and bring life back to Eteria. They apparently went on a quest.
I'm gonna pick Tempra, the time goddess.
Tempra, okay.
And the fire cast.
Sorry?
The liquid, the fire cast.
Oh, Fayat?
Is that cast or guild?
Yeah, it's a guild. That's the Artificer Guild. So Fayat.
Right. Okay.
Fayat's also the guild of Phaetra, the water goddess. You'll notice that the guilds are related to different gods as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what does
interesting.
Sorry, what does novice versus seasoned?
That gives you access to more powerful spells, I believe.
So I'm novice, so I can only pick novice ones, right?
Yeah, right now it's novice only. Tommy, one thing I need you to do is you have to name a tribe that you're from.
Okay.
And basically is like just come up with a name of a tribe. I mean, we're kind of making up the game as we go, so whatever your name is will be officially canon.
I'm from the tribe Harrison Fjord.
Harrison.
No, I'm not. Don't worry.
Fjord. Excellent.
No, not really.
Harrison Fjord. They're very charismatic.
From some sort of guild of historians.
Guild of historians? Well, I mean, you don't really have guilds per se. You probably have oral tradition. Like, so you're probably from a caste of, or a tribe of, like, elders or something like that. I don't know. What would it be? Like truth speakers or something like that.
A tribe of kleptomaniacs.
Yeah, possibly.
If I
keep all the relics. What?
Yep.
Elemental manipulation, will you let me create water?
Where is the spell from?
Fantasy Companion. I think it's also core rules, though, is it not? Yes, it's also core rules.
Yeah, let me find it.
I actually just bought the Elemental Companion, or the Fantasy Companion.
Oh, okay, cool.
So is that a no?
I don't think it would be create water out of thin air.
There is a create water ability.
There is a create water ability?
Well, I'm just saying, is that allowed or not?
Yes, it is allowed. But the thing is, you're kind of draining magical energy around, or I don't think it would be create water so much as pull it out of your own body, because your power points are kind of related to the amount of water that you have in your body.
Okay.
But you're not going to do harm to yourself necessarily by doing it.
I'm spending water to make water.
Yeah, essentially that's how it is. So you're kind of taking water out of yourself to use as.
No, I'm spending water to get magic and then using the magic to make water. Totally different.
What was it called again?
I don't know.
Elemental manipulation. Yeah, I see it. Novice. Basic tricks using 4 elements. Well, fire and air are gone. You could use earth and water.
I'm not taking it.
Water. Caster can conjure up a pint of water somewhere within his sight. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. Then...
I've got my tribe's name.
Okay, what's your tribe's name?
The League of Extraordinary Tribesmen.
League of Extraordinary Tribesmen? That's awesome. Excellent. Okay. And are they a scholarly league or are they?
Yes.
An adventuring league.
So, a collection of uppity, upper class ladies and gentlemen who are trying to chronicle the world.
I see.
And they're kleptomaniacs.
Okay. Okay, so they're kleptomaniacs. How did they get their wealth? Because obviously they're pretty wealthy. So how did that happen? For desert tribes people, that's unusual.
Well, without really knowing how the world experienced its cataclysm, it's kind of hard to tell. But I would imagine that they happened to be lucky enough to preside over a piece of desert that was more resource bountiful, or in some other ways had strategic value, which they were able to keep a hold of and kind of build a small seat of civilization.
I see. So, okay, let's say that they managed to find a fortress in the desert. The sands a sandstorm blew the sand away and revealed a fortress which they occupied.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
So they're sort of almost how dwarves have a propensity to live in mountains.
Mm-hmm.
These weary travelers found what looked like just a small cave that turned out to be a city underground, and they settled there.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're completely obsessed with digging deeper and deeper into the ground,
Mm-hmm.
which won't cause any problems ever.
Yeah.
And sending out their people, usually in as loners, I suppose, to go out into the world and bring back something of significance.
Mm-hmm. And so their wealth is mineral wealth. So they dug out gems and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose that would be fair to say. Well, I mean, I'd imagine that the land is quite inhospitable, so any culture that's able to, or any tribe that's able to find shelter, that's a pretty big boon.
Yeah.
In and of itself. So they would probably attract travelers and other folk to them, which would lead to trade and other economic boons, I suppose, which would justify their apparent wealth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. Maybe they also found a few wells underground, so there's water down there.
Maybe, although they all have a phobia of rats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they had to fight off the ratmen.
I mean, I guess. I just thought it was funny that a historian has a phobia of critters.
Critters, yeah, that's a good idea. A Ravanite.
So what do Ravanites look like? Do they have like a human form or like a...
Yeah, I think that they think Iceman, basically. Like that's my idea about what they look like. essentially, because their whole body is made of water and solidified.
Okay.
Currency, because we haven't decided what the currency is yet.
Bottle caps.
It's probably like ice, right? Ultimately, it's probably
How
what
do
the
you store
currency
that?
is.
How do you store it?
It's magical. Like, it's just
Magic ice.
yeah, magic ice. Remember, like, Eteria is a magical world, so there's magic in everything. Every creature that you encounter is magical. And a lot of things that are magical are commonplace in Eteria. It's not like D&D where you have, some wizards, like maybe 1% of the population is wizards and have magic. No, everyone has magic by default. It's just low level versus high level magic. So when you're choosing an arcane background and choosing spells, that's just you spending more time and energy on your magical ability.
So the currency is not gold, right? It's something else.
No, it's some other currency. I haven't quite decided, and I think that it's just going to be ice. I'm pretty sure that that's the most valuable thing on the planet.
Some polymer of ice.
Yeah, some kind of magical, like solidification of ice that's like super dense.
So Ice 9.
Yeah, pretty much Ice 9, but magic Ice 9.
It doesn't spread and convert everything else to Ice 9. Okay.
No, because it's restricted by magic. Otherwise, it would.
Okay.
I'm ready to.
Okay. So why don't you all introduce your characters and then tell me how you managed to like meet one another and work together and end up out in the desert in this caravan.
Well, I'm a trader.
What's your character's name?
His name is Aquis the Fat.
Aquis the Fat. Okay.
And he's about 5 feet tall and almost as wide in circumference. And he's wearing like very ill-fitting leather armor, and you can see like little bits of water surface like leaking out of the like underneath the leather armor shirt, and yeah, and he's bald. I guess they're all bald. I guess,
yeah, they're all bald.
Yeah. Can I store things inside of my body?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uncomfortably so.
Okay. And he's got a spear in his back, or he's got a spear in his, carrying a spear, not in his hand, but in his pack. And yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
So he's just trying to pick up supplies, I guess, or.
So you're a
trading.
merchant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that you would come along with a caravan to try and gather resources of some sort. Because obviously, you can't make everything out of water, right? Like, you still need other resources. So it makes sense to trade for minerals and stuff. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
My character is Harry Fjord.
Harry Fjord.
Yes. He is a Nordic historian adventurer, or no, Nordic, kind of. He is a member of the tribe of extraordinary, the League of Extraordinary Tribesmen, and he has set out on an adventure to find something of historical importance and bring it back to his home city of Kent.
Kent, okay.
That's the name of the grand underground city.
Fortress.
It's
Kent.
just Kent.
Excellent. So you're on a quest to find historical artifacts.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Smitty. Oh, I can't hear you. No.
I can hear.
Okay, let me rejoin. I'll be right back.
How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So my character is Merlin of the House of Valeria. He is from a noble family who joins the monastery of the time goddess Tempera, and has been studying to fight and history and lore and all that kind of thing, and wasn't doing very well, so she's been sent out to prove her mettle out in the real world, overcome her fears and all that kind of thing.
Okay. Excellent. So one rule that I want to add into the game is the lore rule. Okay, so the way this rule works is if you can come up with and this is sort of incentive to help me build the game as well. If you can come up with a fact about the world that's interesting, that's consistent with the rest of the world, so that you're expanding the world, you immediately will get a Benny for it. So the idea is you can spout lore as long as it doesn't contradict everything else that's in the world, and it adds something to the story, you'll get a free Benny for that. And you can do that once per session to get a free Benny. You can do it more than once a session if you want, but you'll only get the free Benny the first time you do it. And we're back. Okay, so you are currently in a fairly small caravan. There's only about 10 sleds, basically like wagons, but they get pulled throughout the desert by, I guess, camels. I guess we'll just start with camels. There are camels in the world.
So I was like picturing a Dune type scenario.
Yes, it's similar to that.
You
Only,
steal water, like you kill people for their water. Is that?
I think that probably happens with Ravenites, but not so much with people.
But would Ravenites kill humans for their water?
I don't think that.
Water.
No, I think you've got a hold of the resource as a Ravenite. You've got tons and tons of water in your cities, so it's not like you are really low on water.
But what if you're like living in the desert and like outcast?
Then you might, yeah, it's a possibility. But generally, Ravenite society, I mean, they control the water, and they're more technologically advanced than the K'iri or the Marut, or anyone else in the world. So really, you can't openly go to war with them. So they just have a stranglehold on access to water.
But could there be like roaming Ravenites who don't live in society who just like kill people?
Yeah,
like a gunman?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been following along with this caravan of the Rashad tribe, and you've arrived at the. Let's see, where is it? The Pashno Oasis, and right now you've all been traveling, and you're in the I guess in the food tent. right? They have a tent where like the merchants gather, and it's kind of like a roving a roaming inn, right? So think of tavern but in a tent, right? They bring their stuff around, and this is a place where you can kind of get some information about what's available. You know that the barkeeper had a job that he wanted you to do, or that he heard about someone might want you to do. But it's up to you where you go from here. The tent's pretty large. It's about the size of, I don't know. It's like long and thin, like a bus, about that size. And the bar is really just like a little cart that's set up at the end. And there are some like fold-out tables around, and there's a giant woven carpet, all in the that covers the full base of the tent, so that you're not walking around in the sand, but it's placed on the sand. You're about a mile away from the oasis, but you've stopped for the night to let the camels rest. So presumably the caravan will reach the oasis tomorrow morning. It's about, let's say it's like 7 or 8 p.m. and you've got a table at the tavern. So let's see. So there's the bartender. There is a small, like a literally small table. It's like comes up to your knees, and there's a bunch of these like fox-like creatures, the Marut, are sitting at a table, and they're playing a game of cards. In the corner opposite you, so you're up near the bar, but in the corner opposite you, way down the end of the tent, there's another small group of humans, and in one of the tables in the middle of the tent, there's a lone human sitting there as well, on her own. So what would you like to do?
On her own?
On her own, yeah.
Harry Fjord walks up to her and asks her if he could buy her a drink.
She looks up at you and she says, fine. That's a generous offering from a stranger, to a gift of water.
Alright, I'll go buy her a drink.
You're gonna go buy her a drink. Okay.
A glass of water.
A glass of water. That's expensive. Okay, yeah, mark off, let's see, I don't know, $20 from your...
Oh, I don't have $20.
You don't have $20?
This is going to go well, so I'm going to go up... I don't know this, right? So
yeah.
I guess I'm going to go up to the bartender.
Okay, so the bartender greets you and he says, oh, I know you. You're Harry Fjord.
How do you know my name? Well, hold on. So we've been traveling... Have we been traveling with these guys? Or have we just met up with this caravan?
I don't know, sure, it's up to you. But the guy knows you by reputation.
Oh, alright. Well, in that case, this must be my first time in the bar.
It's possible. Yes, it's definitely your first time here, specifically. But you could have been tailing along with the caravan and just not spend any time in the bar.
Well, yes, I imagine Harry Fjord probably
did. Yeah.
Isn't a heavy drinker, not of regular beers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Water, on the other hand, he enjoys a good
water
on the rocks.
Pure water. That's pricey.
Pure water. I'd like to buy this fine lady over there a glass of water.
Well, for a wealthy adventurer such as yourself, from the League of Extraordinary Tribesmen, it's no doubt you can throw around that kind of cash. So he gets out a pitcher from like a wooden pitcher from the back.
Whoa there, whoa there. No. As it turns out, I've actually come upon some hard times recently. Inexplicably, despite being fairly rich, I only have precisely 500 gold pieces worth of equipment on me. And I have in fact spent each and every one of those gold pieces. See this crossbow? This is exactly half of my entire wealth. Don't worry, I'm not going to shoot it. It takes 10 minutes to load it.
So he shrugs and he says, well, if you don't have the currency, I'm afraid you can't have the water.
What if I do you a favor? I heard that maybe you're looking for some fine, upstanding gentlemen to do a favor for you.
Well,
Some sort of errand.
yeah, I do know a job, and if you let me take a cut of the pay, then I absolutely will give you this glass of water, pure water that you want. But it's I gotta warn you, it's a dangerous job.
Well, I gotta put this crossbow to use, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, in that case, a friend of mine from Leah has asked me to get rid of, deal with a problem that he has. See, there's this small Ravanite settlement nearby. They're trying to do something with like a well, drilling something into the ground. I don't really know what the deal is, but it's come under attack from a bunch of sandrakers, and they've occupied the settlement. And if you could clear that settlement, I would appreciate it a lot. I mean, they're willing to trade a bunch of mineral wealth for this if I can help them clear it out. I told them I couldn't do anything about it, but since a fine gentleman and adventurer such as yourself has shown up, maybe I can help him out.
Maybe, yeah. Tell you what, hold the glass of water for now. I'm sure the fair maiden won't mind waiting. And please do go on about this job. What's the pay like?
So the pay is mostly in salt. See,
Salt.
yes, in salt. The city has extracted a lot of salt from the water that was impure over there, and of course we can't easily extract salt from water. So pure salt, so I can salt the meat that I need to preserve, so we can travel with meat in our caravan, and that means I can get myself some gold, and with gold, well, I'll give you a cut of it.
Sounds like
in addition to this glass of water.
Sounds like a fair trade to me. Can you point me in the direction of this well?
Yes.
So hearing about this salt, which I presume is, I don't know, is it rare or not? I guess it would be pretty common.
Pure salt is pretty rare, right? Typically, like, you're going to get low quality salt. It might be okay for flavoring food, but for preserving it, not really. But it's a byproduct of the Ravanite magical process. What they're, I mean, you would know this. Ravan, the Kingdom of Ravan is doing a lot of pumping. It's pumping a lot of water down into the ground. You don't exactly know the details, but a lot of that water comes back and it's got a lot of salt in it. So
fracking.
Sorry?
He's fracking.
Yeah, they're fracking, basically.
or desalinating.
Yeah, they're doing you're franking for some reason, but you don't know because you are not part of the noble caste, are you?
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I know that solid people, they like salt. So
Yeah. They need salt to survive. They have to eat.
yeah.
You don't need salt, but it's an annoying byproduct of your.
I'm a trader, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, you would know that. And salt's very valuable out here in the desert.
yeah.
Ordo, the barkeeper, draws you a map and he points you to the direction of the settlement. It's on the other side of the oasis. If you keep going a few miles, you'll be there, but it's about a day's travel.
Do we have mounts?
No, you probably don't have mounts.
Could I get one?
You could, yeah, you could get a camel for what would it be? Probably 200, 300 gold. I think it's 300 gold for equivalent.
Depends on how many humps it has.
Probably 300. So if you got 300,
I have 280.
Yeah, you've got a camel. Just
Okay.
spend the rest on a camel. But don't forget, you got to feed it and give it water to drink and salt, because otherwise it'll die. Unlike you.
So what do people eat? I mean, is there a crop that is grown?
Yeah, I mean, I'd assume that there are equivalent crops. So, but they don't grow in the desert so much. So, typically, what you're doing is you're traveling between oases, trading from one oasis to another. So, you probably get like palm trees and dates and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then desert animals, right? Killing rats and preserving their meat and stuff like that. There are other larger animals in the desert as well, like coyotes and even things a lot bigger than that as well.
Okay.
So yeah, what would you like to do?
Well, I will return to the table of adventurers and relay to them the information that Ordo gave
I
me.
was listening.
Well then, friends, although the barkeeper has given us a job, we have to go to this settlement, kill a bunch of things. I've actually forgotten the name. What were they?
Sandrakers.
Sandrakers. Are they
What are
rats?
they?
Huh? Well, let's see. Do any of you have investigation? as a
Yes,
skill?
I do.
Yes.
Okay. Roll investigation.
So while he was up talking to the barkeeper, I was at the table with an empty glass, just filling it up and unfilling it, and just playing with like cans of water. Super fun.
So I think I got a raise.
You got a raise? Okay.
Sure did.
Nice. Okay. So the Sandrakers are a tribe of one of the K'iri tribes, and they are these fanatical cultists who worship a sand, like the spirit of sand, and so what they do is they want to sacrifice people to their sand deity in order to kind of pursue some kind of mystical goal, right? They're extremely happy in general. You know that they're extremely happy that the world has been consumed by desert, and that they believe that we should all return to the sands. That's as much as you know about it.
Okay.
Right, sounds like they deserve to die.
Lawrence.
Huh?
Are they Fremen, Lawrence?
No, they're not Fremen.
Okay. You said so.
No, there's magic in this world. There wasn't in that setting.
You say so.
Yeah, in Dune, if you drank the water, you flipping died.
Oh yeah, that's true. You did. There's definitely some inspiration from there, but it's quite different.
Yeah.
I like to think so anyway. Okay, so what do you want to do?
So this caravan is traveling toward the oasis,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have mounts.
Well,
So we should probably just travel with the caravan a bit further then, otherwise we're going to be setting off into the sunset, literally.
yeah, you probably won't have to. It's probably more dangerous going
Night.
on your own.
Better, no? Because there's no sun to, dry you out.
Doesn't it get extraordinarily cold at night in the desert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we can't afford water though. Seems like would be better to travel.
Yeah. I suppose we would set out early in the morning. Well, I guess it sort of depends on the itinerary of the caravan if we don't have mounts.
The caravan's about to head out. They travel during the night.
Oh, well then we'll just
Oh,
follow
yeah.
the caravan.
Go with them.
They're not going to the same place we are they?
Oh, I thought they
No,
were.
they're gonna stop at the oasis.
Yeah, so we would head out
Where we are
after
now.
they arrive.
Which oasis are you talking about?
Yeah, the one they're heading to. You're not quite there. They stopped it a few miles away from the oasis.
How far is that from the Sandbreakers?
It's another. It's about halfway the distance, halfway between you and where you are now and the Sandbreakers. So you'd be traveling. Let's see. So let's say it's about, I don't know, 5 miles to the oasis and another 5 miles through the desert to the Sandbreakers.
So can I get can I have like an umbrella for like a parasol
Sure.
on top of my camel?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah, prevent that evaporation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so you're just gonna follow along with the caravan when it starts packing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So yeah, the caravan begins to pack up in about an hour after you all meet, and I assume, Harry, that you have something to eat.
Yeah, but for some reason I completely forgot about that person I offered a drink to.
Yeah, she left.
Skipped my mind.
Yeah, she's somewhere around, but she didn't hang around and wait
Harry's
for
pretty terrible with people.
that. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the caravan starts to pack up, and starts heading out towards like it takes a while to get the big food tent all packed away, but about an hour later, everything's back on the sleds, and the camels start pulling these sleds towards the oasis. Can everyone roll a notice check?
Dun, dun, dun.
Hmm.
Harry's rolling this fine day.
Let's see.
is
Five.
Yeah, that's fine.
Holy cow.
That's good enough to notice. Okay, so as you're traveling through the desert, you're getting closer and closer. It's very dark now. You're getting closer and closer to the oasis, and you can see like these fires, like torch lights, basically, coming from the oasis. So in the distance. You're not sure entirely what they are, but it's kind of unusual because typically, like, you didn't expect anyone to be at the oasis at this point.
I suppose I should. So my weapon is a hand crossbow.
Yes.
apparently it doesn't have a penalty to reloading, but I'll load it anyway.
Okay, that's a good idea. Does anyone else want to do anything about this?
So does a caravan have scouts? What's it made up of? Do they actually have any soldiers or guards or?
No, not really. I mean, they all carry their own weapons in order to take care of themselves, but it's not a very large caravan. They were hoping to meet up with the rest of their tribe, after reaching the oasis. They were supposed to wait there a few days for the rest of the tribe to arrive. But this caravan is just like they just defend themselves.
Well, then I suppose I equip to no one in particular. That's either our friends are there early or someone else is there coming to meet us.
Mm-hmm.
Swords at the ready.
Okay. So as you approach closer and closer to these fire, the oasis and these torches, when you're about when you're about like within visible distance, maybe 200 feet or something like that, the torches suddenly go out. Like all of them are snuffed out.
Yeah. Well, here's an ambush.
So, what would you like to do? You're approaching the whole caravan is approaching. It doesn't seem like anyone else is alarmed about any of this in the caravan. So they're just.
Right, well, I'll ask someone. Aren't you alarmed by this?
Okay, let's say one of the merchants, and he says, "Well, I mean, we're not the only folks who use the oases, so I have no reason to be alarmed. We're pretty well armed, and we got you folks around, so I expect with the legendary Harry Fjord, we'll be safe."
Harry Fjord enters stealth.
Okay. Which is successful. So, what would you like to do? Are you going to head out?
Scout ahead.
Okay. Let me make a perception check. How do I? Okay. Yeah. So you circle around the to the side of the just veering off away from the caravan a little bit, and you see a bunch of humans in these. It's hard to tell exactly the color, but they look like these dust kind of brown. Let's see, like mud brown robes. And they clearly have swords at the ready.
That's good enough for me, mate. How many are there?
Right now, you see 4 of them, and they're hiding behind trees and looking in the direction of the caravan, which is just about to arrive at the oasis.
All right. Well, do I get a bonus to sneak attack? How does attacking from stealth work?
Attacking from stealth means that you get to act first, so they don't get a chance to.
Would they notice where the attack came from, given I have a hand crossbow?
Not necessarily. They would make a perception check to try and figure out.
All right. Can I tell? So they're wearing robes.
Yes.
So I can't really tell if they've got any other armor.
No. Yeah, you can't tell immediately.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot one of them in the head, I suppose.
Okay.
So I have the trademark weapon edge. My trademark weapon is crossbow.
Okay.
Gain a skill bonus when wielding a specific weapon. I don't actually know what else it does.
So there's a bonus? Okay, so you have... Well, you basically... That's kind of like a legendary weapon, so you probably have a name for your crossbow. So what's the name of your crossbow?
I don't know. The Old Pokey.
Old Pokey. Okay, so you fire Old Pokey at one of the robed figures. So make a shot with that and add your bonus.
Right. So yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at this. I didn't write down the property. Okay. So it's 2d4 for the. Okay. I see. So at first I roll shooting for hit, and then 2d4 for damage. So this trademark weapon, how does that come into this? Is that for to hit as well, or is it?
Let me have a look at the trademark weapon.
I guess it would be because it's a skill bonus.
Yeah, what does it specifically say?
It literally said, gain a skill bonus when wielding a specific weapon. Let me see if I can...
Did it put a number on that?
No.
Alright, I'm going to assume it's a +1 for now, and then we'll look it up later.
Okay, so I'll just add
just
+1.
+1 to that roll. Okay, you rolled an 8, which is a hit, and then you aced it. So, and it's, let's see, what's his... Toughness is 8, so you hit.
Right.
Roll damage.
Holy moly.
Oh, wow. Nice. Wait, 2d4. So you aced both of those, so roll 2d4 again.
Oh, okay, yeah. So...
And you aced again, so roll again. Nice. Okay.
Overkill.
Huh?
Probably gonna be overkill.
Yeah, you shoot your crossbow and thump, straight in his head. And he goes down. And let's see if anyone notices. Yeah, so definitely the rest of them notice, and they start searching for you. Can you make another stealth test? Yeah, okay. So they start searching for you. They're like, spread out. There's someone attacking us. And then, so they start moving around among the palm trees. But they don't manage to find you this round. So everyone else at this point arrives at the edge of the oasis. So let's get some initiative for you. Let's see. Play cards. Wait, how does this work? I need to shuffle and then draw. Okay, so this is the bandits, and then Mirlan. Oh, wow, nice. Aquis and Harry.
Boo.
What? Wait, I don't... 4. Okay. So, Mirlan, when do you want to go? And you also get a +2 bonus to everything. I can't hear you for whatever reason.
Okay, it looks like...
Okay, I think I'm back. So,
yes.
When do you want to go?
But she could say at any time, right?
Well, if she wants to go first, then she should say now. But really, she should pick when she wants to go.
I'll wait. And
you can interrupt other people's turns.
Yeah, you can. You can choose if you want to go later. Okay, so I guess they move first. So there's 3 of them left. The first one is going to try and search for Harry. So let's make a roll for him. Okay, and he definitely sees you, Harry. So he's going to take a shot at you with his... What? Frozen.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so he's going to take a shot at you. So let's...
Wait, what? What's happening?
Okay, the road figure nearest you made a notice check and rolled a 9,
Okay.
which is higher than the last roll that you made. So
Yes.
he noticed you. He's going to fire at you with his longbow.
Okay. I mean, it's not okay, but you know, what a dick.
Yeah, yeah. No, what is that? How does that work? It's 2.
So I've got +7
6.
armor bonus.
Okay. Yeah. So he fires, and you manage to you see it coming, and you dodge to the side, and the arrow just flies past you into the sand somewhere. The next one is gonna try and notice. No, he's just gonna fire at the largest target, Aquis.
Poor Aquis.
Aquis, what's your toughness?
6.
Okay, yeah. So the arrow just glances off of your leather armor.
Can't even hit.
And the other 2 are going to run towards the caravan, and they make it close enough that they're within next round they'll be within striking distance. So next up is who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I want to use Smite.
Okay.
Can you, I think it adds +2, but can you check?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I can't find it online.
Smite, PowerPoint's 2, range touch.
What?
Yeah, it's +2, and if you get a raise, it's +4. So,
Okay, and I'm gonna throw a shuriken at the nearest one.
Okay. What? Oh, unfortunately, and that's a +2 to that. You still wait. What's their toughness? I think their toughness is 8. Yeah. So no, your shuriken just they deflect it with their sword. You know, they just.
So does armor get added to your toughness?
Yeah, I think so. Oh wait, armor. I think armor mitigates damage.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, so it's you're trying to dodge with your first attack, and then
Because it's kind of weird.
wait.
'cause-
Wait. Hold on.
Right.
Yeah, I think I got this wrong. The target number for attacking is always 4, so you actually hit. And then their toughness, your armor gets added to toughness, and then penalties get subtracted from your roll for damage. So yeah, you actually hit. So roll damage. And let me check what the.
So I got hit too, technically.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we should do that first.
Okay, let me roll their damage, which is a d6 damage. Oops.
My toughness plus armor is 10.
Okay. So yeah, even though so the arrow strikes, but it lodges itself in, like, it goes through your armor and then lodges itself in the ice of the surface layer of your body, but you're not actually damaged by that.
Okay.
And then Mirlan, roll for your damage.
Isn't the smite +2 for damage?
Yeah, I
or
think
is
it
that
is.
for...
Let me check. Yeah, damage. So roll. Yeah, so you hit, even with a 4, you hit because the target number is 4. So yeah, roll your damage and then add 2 to that.
What do I roll for damage?
Depends on your shuriken.
Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. What should I have rolled for checking if it hits?
Shooting.
Shooting, sorry. Oh, throwing.
Yeah, sorry, throwing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that because I rolled strength.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you hit.
That's a hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
And shuriken is strength +1, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah. +2, smite.
Smite +2. Yeah, that's still not enough. So your shuriken hits them, but they manage to deflect it with their sword. Let's see who's next. Harry, what would you like to do?
I had to reload my crossbow.
Okay. Do you want to make a move anywhere? You're very close to the forest right now, or the plantation.
Can I reload and shoot, or do I have to reload and move?
I think reloading is an action. How many actions do you get? Let me quickly look at the actions. So, characters form. No, it takes an actual action to reload. So you can move and reload. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll reload and move back towards the caravan, away from whoever was shooting at me.
Okay. All right. So and then Equus, it's your turn.
Okay. So, how can I dismount? Or
Yeah,
what would
that's
that?
just you can do that as part of your. That's not an action or anything. I'm just
Can
gonna
I
call it.
dismount and reach one of them?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So casting a spell that would take my action. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And how do PowerPoints work?
So you start out with a number of them, and then
How much do I start out with?
it depends on your caster type. What kind of type did you choose?
I chose magic.
Okay, so you start out with 10 casting points and 3 powers.
What's a casting point?
Sorry, power points. Sorry.
Okay.
So you have 10 power points and 3 powers.
Okay. I'm not going to go after them, actually. I'll just conjure up some spikes,
Okay.
the gaps in my armor, and shoot them out.
Okay, awesome.
How many can I see?
You can see 2 of them in front of you. If you make a successful perception check, then you could see a third one in the forest. And you do. Yeah, you see 3 of them.
Okay, but I can hear you. Nope, you froze.
Hold on.
No, now I can. I heard you say, "Hold on."
Okay. Can you see me moving? I'm moving side to side.
I can see you. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So you can see all 3 of them.
So I think I make arcane. So I just added arcane as a skill.
Yep.
And it wasn't in the default skills. I had to add it as a knowledge skill or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. In that case, so I just make an arcane roll against 4, just like normal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, let me. Which skill? Which spell is it particularly?
Bolt.
Bolt. Okay.
So I'm going to shoot. I can see 3 of them, right?
Yeah, you can see 3 of them.
So I'm going to shoot 1 at each of them.
Okay.
So I think I have to make 3 rolls.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make 3 attack rolls.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Okay, the first is okay. So for the first one, you definitely hit. Oh no, all 3 of them hit. But you get
Right, and the damage is I get a raise on the first and last,
third.
right?
So the first one would be one of the ones that's close to you. The second one is another one that's close to you, and the third one's in the forest. So roll an extra d6 for each of those, the raises.
It doesn't say what to do for the raise. Is it?
It's standard. When you're attacking, you add a d6 for each raise.
Okay. Yeah, bolt is a standard attack power. Okay.
Yeah, it's standard attack power.
Okay. So.
And it's 2d6 per bolt. So roll 3d6 first for the first one.
First one, 7, doesn't hit him.
Doesn't
he has
hit
8
him.
tough.
Huh?
Right. Second one
is a 9. Okay, reroll. And again. Okay, so
that is total of 15, 16, 17.
Okay,
so I think that's even a raise on the damage.
Yeah, it's a raise on the damage. So he takes a wound, and he's also shaken. Yeah.
Here's a third guy. Uh-oh. All right, so 21.
21. Okay, so that's shaken and then 2 wounds, right? Because they're
what is toughness, 8?
Yeah, they're 8. Or is it shaken plus 1 wound?
I think it's shaken plus 1.
Okay. Okay. Well done. I mean, okay. So, describe. So it's like bolts of what? Ice.
Yes.
Okay. So you like grow these icicles.
I put my hands on my belly and lift my armor up to expose my belly button and shoot out.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So the first guy manages to he gets hit by the bolt, but he manages to kind of cut it with his saber. The one next to him, the guy standing next to him, gets knocked off of his feet and has an icicle sticking out of his chest. And the third one in the forest also similarly gets blown off of his feet and has an icicle sticking out of the side of him.
Okay.
Cool. All right, next round. Why are these not deleting? Okay. Okay, this is the enemies. Mirlan, Aquis, and aces are high, and Harry. Wow, nice. Aquis, you're first.
How many are left that I could see?
So there, you can still see all 3 of them. 2 of them are down with icicles sticking out of them. The third one in the far is still running towards you with his saber out.
Sorry, what's up? Oh, that takes 4 power points. I'm going to take out my spear.
Mm-hmm.
And can I haven't dismounted.
Oh, you're still on your camel?
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I ride up to them or who's the closest one? Ride up to the closest one and attack it with the spear?
Yeah, probably the guy with the sword, the saber. So, okay. Yeah, go roll your attack roll.
It's fighting?
Fighting, yeah. Nice. Okay, so that's what?
1 raise.
1 raise. Okay, and then so whatever your weapon is plus a d6.
Is it also plus your strength die or something?
Yes. Yeah, it's strength die plus your weapon die plus a d6 in this case.
Okay. So I think spear is 1d6.
So it'd be.
It says, well, when I look at the document that Tommy sent out, it says strength plus d6. So is it just strength plus d6, or is it strength plus?
It's no. Your strength is a die. Like all of your attributes are dice. So you would roll your strength die plus the d6 for the weapon plus your bonus dice
Bonus from fighting skill?
from the raise, because you got a raise on his attack.
Oh yeah, because of the raise. You're right.
Yeah.
2d6 plus 1d4, I think. All right, so just 10.
Okay, so you got 10. That's enough to shake to put the guy into shaken status. So I guess
he's the one I missed.
Huh?
Okay. He's the one I missed earlier?
Yeah, he's the one you missed earlier. So, I guess, like, you stab at him with a spear, and it catches him off guard, like he's not expecting you to gallop up on your camel. And he tries to deflect it, but it goes into his shoulder.
Okay.
And he's got to shake it off on his turn.
Do I have to make a riding check, actually, to make an attack?
Or
is that...
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think it's when someone tries to knock you off of your camel that you'll need to make that check.
Okay.
Harry, it's your turn.
I open fire.
Okay, on which one? All three of them are shaken.
Who has the least number of wounds on? Who has the most number of wounds on them? I guess.
The guy in the forest with the icicle sticking out of him.
All right, I'm gonna end him then.
Okay.
I'll try. 1 moment, please. I pull out my shoot button.
Okay, so you hit, and then there's no raise though. So
No.
roll your just your weapon die.
Oh, I forgot to add my bonus to hit or whatever.
Oh, you forgot to add it? Then there is a raise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so roll a d6 in addition to that.
Okay.
Right. Is it always a d6 when you...
Yeah, a raise always results in a d6 extra damage. Now that I think about it, we're also not taking into account our wild dice. So everyone has a wild die, which is a d6 that they need to roll in addition to their other roll, and they take the higher of those two.
Oh, okay.
Because you're wild cards. So actually, when you're rolling...
Is that in damage, or is... I thought that's...
No, it's for any skill trait, so any trait roll.
I think it automatically does it.
When
we click
for attacks?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. 1d10 or 1d6.
Oh, okay. Well, so in that case, then... So you did 11. Yeah, so you give that guy another wound. So he's lying on the ground. You shoot him in where... I guess it hits him in, like, the leg or something. But he's still alive. He's screaming out in pain. He's very close to dying. And next up is Mirlan.
I'm gonna run up to one of the guys, the one with shoulder, and attack him with my short sword.
Okay, do you want to the one with the icicle sticking out of him, or the one who's standing up with the sword?
The one screaming. Put him
Okay.
out of misery.
All right, go for it. Do you want to use a Benny on that?
I will use a Benny on that.
Okay.
Right.
That's no good.
Tumble and trip. fall flat. Never mind.
I should mention, with bennies, you start every session out with 3 of them. So they're not the kind of thing that you should store up. You're always going to start with 3.
Should I use another one?
Up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'll use another one.
Okay. Nope. Yeah, you're running through the sand and you lose your footing, and you just fall face down into the sand. It's all gritty in your face, in your mouth. Let's see. Okay, so each of them is going to try and get rid of his shaken status. How do I do that?
It's a spirit roll, isn't it? Or
I think
something?
so. Yeah. Yeah, what is their spirit? Okay. So this is the first one with who's still standing up with the sword. Uh-oh. What? My keyboard just died for whatever reason. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, the guy with sword drawn fails to regain his spirit. But he is going to try and disengage from you. He's going to run towards the trees. He's like, I guess he screams, "Pull back! There are too many of them!" and starts running towards the trees. Aquis, you get an attack roll against him.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The guy who's
So I
wounded
cannot raise. So it's 1d6 plus 1d4. Nope.
Okay, so yeah, you try and stab at him, but he's too quick. He manages to run for the trees. The guy who's lying on the ground manages to get rid of his shaken status. And he also stands up and runs for the trees. The guy who's on the ground, wounded, almost dying, who's got an arrow sticking out of his leg in the forest or in the plantation, is unable to get rid of his shaken status. So let's go on to the next round of combat. One. It's them.
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the ones. Okay, so the ones who are heading to the trees make it to cover. The guy who was who still had his sword drawn and doesn't have an icicle sticking out of him, drops his sword and picks up the longbow that's on the ground next to his fallen comrade. The other one just crouches and hides behind a tree. And then the last one is going to try and get rid of his shaken status. And succeeds, actually. So he somehow manages to get to his knees and hide behind a tree. Next up is Aquis. Your turn.
Can I reach the guy who had picked up the longbow?
You can, but he's got cover from your attack.
How?
He managed to make it to the trees, and so he's just like hiding behind a tree right now.
So what does cover do?
It's gonna give him a. So when you make your attack, roll, it'll give you a -2 penalty to your roll.
Right.
I think. Let me quickly check that because I want to know what exactly the penalty is. So make your attack roll, and I'll tell you what the penalty is. Because he's just going to circle around on the opposite side of the tree. Yeah, it's a -1. Oh, wow. Okay.
Still 2 raises.
So 12. So you still, it's still,
3d6, right?
yeah, you still hit him.
1d.
How many is it? 2 raises?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Or-
that's 2.
No. What's his toughness? It's
No,
not-
the attack rolls are always against 4, target
that's
4. So you got 2 raises, and then, wow, 12. Okay, so yeah, and this is against that guy, the one with the longbow now.
So I guess he's shaken.
He's shaken, so he takes a wound immediately. So you stab him. I guess maybe you catch him in the in his torso, and he starts bleeding out. He grabs the wound and
Wait, I
tries to
didn't
circle
get a raise.
around. Huh?
I did not get a raise. So is he?
You no, because he's still shaken.
Oh, he's still shaken. Okay.
I think he's still shaken.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't. The other one is.
Yeah, he's still shaken, so he takes a wound.
Okay.
Yeah, the other one is not shaken. The second one, who's just hiding right now, is not shaken, but he is wounded. Okay, Harry, it's your turn.
I'm going to. So who's? I'm going to have to advance on these guys, I guess.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm going to reload. I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
reload and advance on them.
reload and advance on them. Do you have a close range, like a melee weapon?
I've got my fists.
You could always attack with your fists. But yeah, you're reloading, so that's your action.
Yeah.
Okay, you make it to cover in the plantation. And Mirlan.
So there's one guy left, right?
There are still 3 of them alive.
There's still 3.
Yeah, there's one guy who Harry is right next to him, who's just like screaming out, and he's got both a shard of ice that's now melting and an arrow stuck in him. There's one who's hiding behind a tree with a saber, and there's one, and he has an ice thing sticking out of him as well. And there's one who Aquis has just attacked, who's trying to just circle around a tree, just like dodging attacks from Aquis.
Okay, I'm gonna go after the last one.
Okay.
Who's just attacked. I'm gonna try my ice shuriken again.
Okay.
After I pick myself off the floor.
Oh, nice. You
Act
hit.
like nothing happened. I hit it.
Yeah.
Strength +1 plus gonna use smite again, which is not enough.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like the ice
Can I
shuriken.
double my smite? Can I use 2 powers in one action?
No, you can't do that. So yeah, unfortunately, like you throw the shuriken and it hits him, but it just glances off of his armor. It turns out he has some kind of armor underneath his robe.
Waterproof armor.
Maybe not waterproof. You're not sure what it is, but you see it bounce off of him when it should go straight through him. Okay, let's go for the next round.
I'm like, that never happened in any of my classes. Real world fake.
Ugh.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay, the first guy is gonna try and stab up at Equus, and he's gonna have a
Is he
penalty.
carrying a bow? Or he's gonna drop the bow?
Oh, yeah, he can't. Oh, he can't attack you. He's gonna try and disengage and get to a distance.
Okay.
So as a result, you have an attack roll on him.
Because he can't attack when you're
Yeah,
you can't
he can't attack in close range. He has to
or
move
when
away.
you're shaken.
But he will be able to attack this turn as his action. Okay, yeah, he manages to slip under your spear.
You can't attack if you're shaken, can you?
Oh yeah, that's right. No, he has to recover from being shaken. Okay, forgot that he was shaken. He recovers from being shaken and makes his way to through the forest. And he's going to try and stealth his way through the forest. So what would that be? He's going to try and hide in the shadows. Yep. He does have stealth. Okay, so his stealth roll is 5. So he disappears into the shadows. The next one, who's wounded, he's got his bow, is actually just going to disengage from the fight. He's going to run away. So he runs into the distance and tries to... Yeah, so his stealth roll is 4. And finally, the one who's on the ground is going to try and not be shaken anymore. He successfully shakes off his wounds, or his pain, and gets up to his feet and starts hobbling in the other direction, away from the battle. So let's... Aquis, you're next.
Okay. Can I see them all?
You can see the one who's hobbling away from the battle, but the other two have managed to kind of try and stealth their way through the forest.
Check, then I can see them.
Yeah, if you make a successful notice check, you'll see them. Yeah, you see both of them. Clear as day.
Okay.
So, what do you want to do?
I would like to roll. Whatever. I'll use bolt again.
Okay.
That's our. So 3 rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
First guy, second guy, third guy.
So
is
all 3 hit.
But okay, so it's 2d6. I think.
Yeah, 2d6.
Right.
1.
First guy.
Okay, first guy is dead for sure.
22.
22. So that's yeah, he's dead.
Oh,
Second
okay.
guy, it misses him.
What the heck is going on? Okay, last guy. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, your bolt goes straight through the heart of the one who is attacking you, who just fled you. The second one and the guy who the second one manages to get away from the battle, and the third one who is limping just got lucky that he managed to get behind a tree, and so your ice bolt slams into the tree instead.
Can I ride up to one of them?
Yeah, you can ride up to one of them if you want. Although the guy who let's see, he's going to try and make a stealth check.
But it's not his turn.
I know, but he's... Let's say he's... Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're going to try and chase after the guy who's...
I just want to be next to him, so if he tries to run, then I can attack him.
Okay, so you're going to try and run up to him. Okay, yeah, because you were on Camelback, you managed to make it there. So you're pretty close to the guy who's running away. and next is Harry.
I'm gonna shoot at the nearest one, I guess.
Okay, go for it. Nice. It's a 1 raise. So add a
That's-
d6 to your roll. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you take a shot at him. He's limping away. Manages to get behind this tree, and ice bolt hits in the tree at the same time. He gets stuck in the back by your arrow and just collapses and dies.
Cool.
Mirlan, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna run up to the guy that's left. Where is
He's
behind a tree?
he's probably outside of your range that you can run. Aquis is on horse camelback. He managed to make it, but it would probably take you 2 turns to get there. Or actually, I think you can spend your action running. So if you just run this round, then you'll make it there.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Okay.
With the shuriken, you can use it twice, I think, because it says that under special 2 attacks with no penalty.
Oh, really? So you
Because
can
otherwise,
throw...
it's kind of
Does the damage add up though? Because
I don't think so.
yeah,
I think it's 2 separate.
if I need 8,
Yeah, it's pretty
there's
much
like no chance I can make it with the D4.
Well, only you need to like
No, you
make
have
twice.
to get raises.
Twice.
I guess I'll try throwing.
Okay.
I think you have to ace once and then get a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty unlikely.
All right, that's a 4.
Yep, you miss.
I thought.
But you get 2 attacks, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's a hit. Sorry, you hit.
Yeah. So you roll 1d4. If you get a 4, you can still damage him, I think.
Do thrown weapons add damage dice? I think they do. Sorry, add strength dice.
It is. It's strength plus 1. Or 1d1.
No, I don't think you managed to make it. That's a pretty bad roll. Yeah, you just you throw, but he's just too far away. You can't make it there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Next round.
But she can attack again, no?
I did.
Yeah,
those
both
were
of
3.
Huh?
Huh? I only see 1 attack.
There were 2 strength tests. 1 throwing test and 2 strength.
Oh, I see.
Is it fighting or is it strength? I don't know.
Shuriken is strength plus 1.
Oh, okay.
That's for the damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I think you can roll to attack twice, though, is what I'm saying, right? So you can make 2 separate attacks instead of rolling damage twice. Because you might get a raise on your second attack.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
I think that, because it says a second attack. And
So let's try throwing again and see if I get a raise.
Nope.
okay.
Mind.
When you're doing these checks, are you doing? Was that a throwing test?
Yeah.
Are you rolling a d6? You are, right?
No, I just liked throwing in the skill list.
I think she is. She's just rolling really poorly.
Oh, okay. What's
You'd
your
love-
throwing skill?
D6.
Okay.
It is?
Yeah, that's a
Did you
pretty.
get the box?
It
So
is
you-
rolling a D6 there.
But you should be rolling a d6 plus a d6, or the higher of 2 d6s.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at when I mouse over the throwing test. Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, it's 1 + 3.
You're just getting bad luck, I guess.
Yeah, these are just really bad rolls. Okay.
Alright, let's go on.
All right. So yeah. So the last guy turns around to face you, Aquis, and he drops his sword, and he kind of goes onto his knees, and then holds his hands as he says, "Please don't kill me. Spare me." He's giving up.
Okay.
Harry, what would you like to do?
Am I near this guy?
No, you would have to spend your whole round moving to get to him.
There's only him left, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one.
I guess I'll holster my weapon.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, I'll let Aquis the Fat
Aquis.
decide the fate
Okay.
of that person.
Miralyn, you just arrived. Oh no, you're actually very far away from them. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna yell at them. I'm gonna be like, tie him up, and run towards him.
Okay, so you make it pretty close to them. Aquis, what would you like to do?
So there's one other guy, right?
Yeah, there's one guy left. One
No,
human left.
Okay. So I say, get down on the ground. And drop
Okay.
your.
Huh?
Put your hand on your head. While
Okay.
pointing the spear at him.
Yeah, he
He's-
complies with your
Okay.
demands.
Okay, then I wait for other people to come closer.
Okay. All right. I guess we're out of combat. Everyone gains 1 experience point, which is a lot in this game, for defeating your enemies. Actually, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to give you experience points for defeating enemies, so I retract that. Everyone gets a Benny.
But they reset it the next session anyway.
I know.
That's very useful.
I mean, that's the guidance from the game. But as you search the bodies, I'm assuming you search the bodies of these other robed figures. You find on their bodies. Let's see.
They have
I
water
guess,
skins.
huh?
Do they have any water?
Yeah, they have water. They actually have like 30 little ice cubes on them, like this high density ice. They have the weapons that you encountered. They have now some of them. Let's see, who was it? The one who was hit by the icicle and nothing else, pretty much. Who just let's see, was shot by arrows and was hit by the icicle. His armor is mostly intact, and it's equivalent to chainmail armor.
He has a full set.
Yeah, he has a full set that's mostly intact. I mean, so you could wear it.
Is it adjustable?
You would have to find someone to adjust it for you, but yeah, you could adjust it.
Chainmail is a penalty to skills, though, I think.
Yeah, it does give you a penalty. And then they also, on their bodies, they have this symbol that looks like these 3 wavy lines, one on top of another. They have a pendant with, like, that's a round wooden pendant with these 3 wavy lines carved on them. Which they're probably not worth anything, but that's what they've got.
Oh, can we interrogate the guy?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you gonna try and bind him, like tie him up or something? Huh?
I don't think I have rope, unless.
Does anyone have rope?
Water rope.
Yeah, you could do that if you want to spend some.
Gear list.
Huh?
Is it on the gear list even?
I don't know. I mean, let's say that you do. I'm not gonna be too pedantic about that.
Okay.
Okay, so you tie him up. Make a, what would it be? Like a agility?
Smarts.
Is it smarts? Yeah, make a smarts roll. Whoever wants to tie him up. Okay, yeah, you use a bunch of very clever knots that are definitely not going to come undone.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he's there. He's not saying anything, but he's just he's just sitting, kneeling there in front of you.
So who are you? I poke him with a spear if he keeps quiet.
Okay, yeah, you poke him with a spear, and he says, "Release me, or you will all face your doom." That's all he says.
Didn't you just surrender? Okay, whatever.
He says, "My friends will come for me, as sure as the desert sands will come for you."
Your friends are dead.
Is this guy a sandraker?
Is that what you're gonna ask?
No, would I know if he was?
Do you have let's see, do you have any knowledge of the desert?
No.
Do you have any knowledge that would apply in this situation? Or does anyone have any knowledge that would apply in this situation?
Probably we didn't take any knowledge skills.
I took investigation.
Yeah, I have that.
I guess you could ask around. It's going to take a while to figure out.
I took knowledge religion.
You took knowledge religion? Well, the Sandrakers are religious castes, technically speaking, so yes. Alright, roll your knowledge religion.
It's gonna be as great as all my other rolls.
Okay, you don't know anything unless you want to spend a Benny.
I'll spend a Benny.
You got it. You got that bonus, remember? So you have an extra Benny. How many more Bennies have you got? How are you rolling so badly? That is incredible.
They just hate me. Oh.
Okay. I'm assuming you're out of Bennies now.
Yes, but I rolled a 7.
Yeah. Okay. So with a 7.
Yeah, I'm out of Bennies.
Yeah, with a 7, you know that the symbol that's carved into the wooden amulet that they're wearing is the symbol of the Sandrakers, and it represents a rake going through sands.
Oh, okay.
How did he know we were on... Why were they targeting the caravan? Is there something else in the caravan?
They're evil bar stewards.
I
have to head off soon as well, by the way.
Oh, okay. I think let's just wrap it up there, but I mean, your caravan, it's not like you were trying to hide your presence with the caravan. It's kind of hard to hide a caravan anyway. And the natural thing that you might want to do after capturing a settlement is secure the surrounding area. So your best guess would be that that's the reason they're here.
So they captured the oasis?
Yeah, well, that's what they were trying to do.
Okay.
That would be your best guess about what's going on. So I guess we'll stop there. Thanks everyone for playing. I know this is a little experimental, so thanks for bearing with me while I'm making up the game as I go along.
Well, thanks for hosting, man.
Yeah, I hope you had fun, and I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
All right, see you later.
Later.
See you later, folks.
Bye.